accept this afternoon, but few thought they had a choice.
I think the decision was made before we walked in there. It was presented to us exactly as it was 2.5 years ago. Accept this and live, or vote it down and die.
2 years ago, Post employees took a permanent 20% cut, and some hoped by accepting another pay slash, they were sending a message to potential buyers.
We hope we're showing that our hearts are in the right place, and that if someone wants to come in and make the investment, we're a group of people that can be worked with, and we'll give our best.
After the deal was announced, workers were pleased to at least still have their jobs.
Yeah, I think it's great. We still got our jobs. Let's just hope we get our 20% back that we took the pay cut in.
So who is Stephen Hoffenberg? That is the question that a lot of people down here want to know tonight. He is the chairman of a company called Tower Financial Services based here in Manhattan. Essentially, it's a big bill collector. The other big question is what his plans are for this paper, and union officials are afraid that if he even intends to keep it alive at all in the long term, these temporary 20% pay cuts the unions agreed to this weekend may become permanent. In Lower Manhattan at the New York Post, I'm J.D. Daffer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And our other top story tonight is the death of former Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, who died earlier today at the age of 84. Marshall was the first black member of the High Court, but he will also be remembered for what he did before he came to the court.
He was a champion of human rights and the chief counsel for the NAACP for 23 years. In all, he argued 32 cases before the High Court and won 29. His most famous victory was Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, in which the Supreme Court said that separate but equal schools for white and black children were unconstitutional.
I think the segregation decision of 1954 probably did more than anything else to awaken the Negro from his apathy to demanding his right to equality.
He was named to the Supreme Court by Lyndon Johnson in 1967. He was already one of the most influential lawyers in the country at the time. He was against the death penalty. He was for abortion rights. He was a champion of the poor and powerless. His name was synonymous with the fight for civil rights.
I think we have tried to with the Constitution as it was intended to be interpreted as of this day, not to try to move it back.
And Marshall was also known for his humor. When he retired 19 months ago from the Supreme Court, he told reporters why.
What's wrong with me? I'm old. I'm getting old and coming apart.
President Bill Clinton called Marshall a giant in the quest for human rights, and former Atlanta mayor and civil rights activist Andrew Young applauded Marshall's lifelong fight for human justice.
Thurgood Marshall used the law from the middle 40s through the 60s to see to it that our Constitution was fully implemented.
When Marshall was asked how he wanted to be remembered, he said that he did what he could with what he had. Sarah?
He sure did. Also in Washington tonight, the Clinton administration is trying to head off a possible revolt if gays are allowed in the military. There are reports that Colin Powell, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staffs, is threatening to resign if President Clinton lifts the ban on gays. Defense Secretary Les Aspin says a fair compromise can be reached, but he warns the military can only fight lifting the ban on gays just so far. On another subject, the Defense Secretary is defending U.S. pilots on board the USS Kitty Hawk. Secretary Aspin says it's not certain Iraqis opened fire last night in a no-fly zone over Iraq, but he stressed the American pilot thought he was shot at. Iraq is denying its anti-aircraft missiles fired at U.S. warplanes and claims it is holding to the ceasefire. Aspin also says there is some indication Iraqi troops are now preparing new sites for anti-aircraft batteries in the no-fly zone. Harry?
Another Clinton administration official is in the news tonight for downplaying the campaign pledge of a middle-class tax cut anytime soon. Treasury Secretary Lloyd Bentsen says that the deficit numbers have become substantially higher, making it harder to cut taxes. Bentsen says that President Clinton's economic priorities are more jobs and a long-term solution to cutting the deficit. And tonight, the city of New York is facing a similar problem, and that is, how do you close a billion-dollar budget deficit? That's just one of the problems facing the Dinkins administration. It's one of the problems that Dinkins administration is wrestling with, and the solution may not make taxpayers or city workers very happy. Celeste Ford has the story.
It's becoming a tradition for New Yorkers, the annual budget crisis. Next year, the gap is expected to reach $1.6 billion. That could mean a delay in the hiring of 1,200 cops, a savings of $20 million, according to Mayor Dinkins. He says it would not compromise safety.
We have the ability to do this without reducing the patrol strength.
And Mayor Dinkins wants to let commuters share the burden by increasing the commuter tax. The mayor would not confirm a published report saying he may trim the Human Resources Administration by increasing the caseload for social workers. The same report says one of the 4 Staten Island ferries could also be cut. The mayor did admit the Board of Education is fair game.
A fourth of our budget is in education.
The mayor blames the budget gap on the region's poor economy and a lack of federal support. This expert says the police department can withstand a cutback.
The one area of growth under the mayor has been the police department. It's easier to hold back that growth rather than fire people who run the libraries, who run the schools, or who handle social services.
According to some political observers, the mayor's budget-cutting proposals amount to a trial balloon. 6 months before the deadline, he's floating his ideas to hear what causes the loudest public outcry. On the Upper East Side, Celeste Ford, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And details of the mayor's budget-cutting proposals are expected within a week.
Speaking of money, when we come back, hotel queen Leona Helmsley is hit with a major lawsuit.
Plus some new information in the Rodney King beating case. New evidence has been uncovered that could mean trouble for the 4 officers still facing federal charges in this case. Also, the woman who helped her husband kidnap Exxon executive Sidney Riso will know her fate soon.
And a Brooklyn priest answers charges that he sexually harassed women. Was he set up?
She knew that Max Factor's 2,000-calorie mascara would fatten her lashes. But then what?
The waiter's stare as she ordered dinner suggested that he was preoccupied with something. She wondered what. But when he asked her what kind of dressing she would like on her lashes, his Freudian slip told her exactly what was on his mind.
Impact. 2,000-calorie mascara fattens lashes more than 200%. Lashes that get noticed.
Impact.
Max Factor International.
Discover the distinction of excellence at Greco Mazda. Throughout the years, Greco Mazda has been serving northern New Jersey with quality automobiles at affordable pricing. So whether you're buying or leasing, Greco Mazda will satisfy all your transportation needs. How do I know so much about Greco Mazda? I'm Deborah Greco, and this is my father, Jim.
Our family's name and reputation go on every car we deliver.
Discover the distinction of excellence at Greco Mazda, Route 46, Rockaway, New Jersey.
Wake up. Call 540-WAKE. Get out of bed and get ahead. Use your touch-tone phone. Call 540-WAKE. We're the wake-up that works. So why worry? Don't ever be late again. Call 540-WAKE. Do it now. Only $2 per call. Depend on us. Call 540-WAKE and wake up right. Wake up bright. Wake up to us tomorrow. Call 540-WAKE.
While no medicine can stop a cough completely, there is one that in 30 minutes can so significantly reduce your coughing, it's guaranteed or your money back. Vicks Formula 44. No wonder doctors recommend Formula 44's cough medicine 3 times more than codeine. Formula 44. Because the fewer the coughs, the better.
There may be some new evidence in the Rodney King case. The LA Times reports that it's obtained a transcript of a conversation that suggests police beat King because he angered them during a high-speed chase. 4 LA police officers are going to be tried next month for violating King's civil rights. Now, according to the paper, the previously undisclosed conversation reveals a police dispatcher calling for an ambulance because the suspect needs, quote, a little attitude adjustment.
Tonight, Irene Seal awaits her fate in a New Jersey jail. Tomorrow is sentencing day for the woman who helped her husband kidnap Exxon executive Sidney Riso last year. Prosecutors say the 45-year-old mother of 2 deserves a stiff sentence, even though she cooperated with them in building a case against her husband, Arthur. He's now serving a life sentence for murder. Irene Seal faces up to 40 years in prison after pleading guilty to federal charges in Riso's kidnapping and murder. She could also face another 20 years on state kidnapping charges. Former hotel queen Leona Helmsley may be in jail, but she's getting hit with more legal trouble. Gerald Kadish, who was executive vice president of the company that oversees the troubled Helmsley Palace, claims Mrs. Helmsley wooed him back after he quit his job, then fired him from her jail cell. Kadish wants $3 million for what he calls a contract violation and age discrimination. Harry?
Tonight, the charges are sexual harassment in a case involving an Episcopal priest from Brooklyn. Reverend Heron Sam of St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Crown Heights faces an ecclesiastical trial tomorrow morning. The church court will hear the sexual harassment charges filed by 2 women. The priest denies the charges, and he says that the case is a part of an effort by the diocese to push him out of the church that he has led for 20 years.
I believe that justice will prevail. I believe that the facts will bear out my innocence. And I believe that I will be vindicated.
So far, there has been no comment from the Long Island Episcopal Diocese. Meanwhile, New Jersey investigators are headed home with videotapes tonight that they hope will nail New Yorkers that they say may be involved in an insurance scam. Teams of investigators swept through city neighborhoods today looking for parked cars with New Jersey license plates. They'll compare the plate numbers with computer records to see if any of the cars are illegally registered in New Jersey. Take advantage of cheaper auto insurance rates. Violators could face first-time fines of up to $5,000.
Big Brother's watching. Up next in sports, we're still a week away from Super Bowl Sunday.
But tonight, the Cowboys and the Bills are already in place in California. Plus, the Nets look to get back on a winning track as they take on the Houston Rockets at the Meadowlands.
And heads turn in another direction when high fashion designers show their new lines and Madonna crashes the party.
If you're looking for rates as low as this and quick approval on a home equity credit line account, listen to Bud Bash.
When you need a second mortgage, there's only one phrase you need to hear.
Mr. Anderson, your loan was approved.
Call the Personal Mortgage Corporation at 1-800-DIAL-PMC. No weeks of waiting, no application fees. You'll get an answer in 24 hours. Don't worry if others have turned you down. Call 1-800-DIAL-PMC, Personal Mortgage Corporation. When it comes to second mortgages, we approve.
It's so small.
Always on the run, but for the wrong reasons? You just can't seem to wake up on time. Well, there's a solution to your dilemma, and it's called 540-TIME, New York's best wake-up service. Dial 540-8463 now and receive your own hotel-style wake-up call. For only $1.75 plus possible toll, you'll have the advantage of a reliable computerized wake-up service at your fingertips. Anytime, all the time. Be on time with 540-TIME.
If you're concerned about your thinning hair, call Hair Club for Men and receive our free brochure. Learn how Hair Club's non-surgical polyfuse method gives you the freedom you've always wanted. Your new hair will look and feel like a part of you.
I did not ask to lose my hair, and for a long period of time I thought that I would have no choice. And with Hair Club, I do have that choice. I like that.
No matter what sport or activity you enjoy, you'll feel secure and confident with your new hair.
I was uncomfortable when I didn't have hair. Now that I have a full head of hair, people that haven't seen me in a while, they don't even know I had anything done. It's like totally natural to them.
Now I can walk down the street and not worry about the person standing right behind me or standing on, waiting at a traffic light and the people are piling up behind me, and I think that everyone's looking down at the top of my head.
So call for our free brochure to view our various hairstyles and receive information about Hair Club's non-surgical polyfuse method.
And remember, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
Madonna, who certainly sets her own fashion standards, made a surprise appearance today at the Paris show of one of her favorite designers. The Material Girl turned heads away from the catwalk as she slinked her way into Gianni Versace's new showing, wearing, surprise, clothes all over her body. She took a look at the trendy designer's new collection because she's wearing a Versace number in her next Bad Girl video.
Kind of gives a whole new meaning to the Material Girl, I guess, huh?
Not a lot of material.
More than usual.
We need some new material, perhaps. I don't know. Nets and Rockets tonight?
Yes, Nets snap out of that little losing streak, and you know what fuels the Nets? It's real simple. Petro, as in Drazen Petrovic. He fires up his career-high 44 at the Rockets tonight at the Meadowlands as the Nets defuse Houston's 8-game winning streak, 100-83. Nets really did push the visitors around tonight, and they look shook up. Good Nets D plus shooting like this, where the Rockets only had 31 first-half points. Drazen Petrovic, no trouble scoring. He was just getting warmed up with just 12 in the first half. And oh, he had company, like from Derek Coleman, working hard down low, 23 points and 14 rebounds from D.C. Nets were up by 9 at the half, and then Petro gets real warm. Buries the jumper here. Now it's the double clutch plus the foul. Petrovic, 32 of his career best in the second half, capped off by what he does best.
Petro for 3. Got it!
Oh, what a show by Petro. 44 points as the Nets win for their 6th time in their last 7 home games. Now down in San Antonio, all John Lucas does is congratulate his guys. They won for the 9th straight time for the new coach against the Bulls. But they couldn't stop Michael Jordan. 42 for Michael, but San Antonio rode Dale Ellis just over a minute to play. Ellis's three-pointer here gives the Spurs the lead. Lucas delighted about that, but the Bulls' final chance belongs to Jordan. This is for the tie. And yes, he is a human being. Michael Jordan can miss. The Spurs set a club record with their 9th straight win. Well, college basketball now, and just when you were beginning to think that Seton Hall was unbeatable at the Meadowlands, third-ranked North Carolina changed all that thinking. They snapped the Hall's 17-game swampland winning streak, and with support like this, no wonder they usually win there. But it didn't matter in the opening moments. Arturas Karnisovas has that shot block, and the Tar Heels are on the run. George Lynch completes it with 2 of his 25. So with Carolina up, PJ contemplating that comeback. And he got it with Big Luther Wright on the inside right here. Needless to say, Dean Smith disappointed about being down a deuce at the half. It stayed close after the intermission. This time, it's Brian Caver in the lane. The lob will go. Hey, Caver had something to shout about. Hall's up 5. But from there, Carolina goes to Eric Montross. 8 of his 13 came in the closing moments. Tar Heels win it 70-66. Sorry to say, PJ, the 17-game winning streak at the Meadowlands is over. Now at Rutgers, where I bet neither of those guys will be the valedictorian, the Scarlet Knights first half trouble with Temple because they were skying. Alley-oop for Eddie Jones. Bob Wetzel's guys down 6 at the half, but they ride Steve Worthy in the second half. 16 of his 20 come after the intermission. Rutgers takes care of Temple, 80-72. You know, it's only January, and already the defending national champion Duke has more losses than they had all of last year. Blue Devils lose for the 3rd time today on their 3rd consecutive Sunday. This time at Florida State, they do that chopping thing for basketball there, too. Final seconds of regulation. It's their football quarterback, Charlie Ward, the big defensive play, sends the game to overtime tied at 80. Final seconds of the OT session. Duke's up a deuce, but Darren Wells, a three-pointer, rolls in. Florida State the lead by 1. Duke, though, has a final chance, but the inbound pass is stolen. Florida State beats Duke for the first time ever, 89-88. At Indiana, would you believe one Bobby Knight's not enough? Now, which one's the dummy? Just kidding. Second-ranked Hoosiers hosting Ohio State. Early on, it's Calbert Chaney on the inside, plus the reverse. Bobby not satisfied, only up 8 at the half. So his guys just blow it open because of Calbert Chaney. He led them with 27. It's Indiana's 25th straight win at home, 96-69 over Ohio State. In golf, Larry Mize wins the Northern Telecom Open by a couple of strokes. And in boxing tonight, heavyweights, Atlantic City. That's Alexander Popov. In case you couldn't tell, he was a late replacement. He didn't have much of a chance against Bruce Seldon. He took target practice on him. Popov stopped after 2 rounds. Bruce Seldon retains his IBF Intercontinental title. And finally, if they win nothing else, the Buffalo Bills did beat Dallas in the first Super Bowl competition. They got to Pasadena first. In case you're keeping track of such things, Bills arrived around 6:40 tonight. The back-to-back Super Bowl losers even had a welcoming committee on the scene. Well, out in California, the Cowboys got in about 20 minutes later. The new version of America's team favored by a touchdown, but that doesn't bother the Bills' boss a bit.
I told our players, you know something? You know who's going to be wearing red, white, and blue out there when we play that game? The Buffalo Bills. You're America's team.
Almost makes you want to stand up and sing the national anthem, doesn't it?
Oh,
Won't help.
absolutely.
Dallas wins the game by more than a touchdown. That'll do it in sports. I'm
Oh,
Mark Stevens.
prediction here. You heard it here first.
There you go. Remember, I picked the 49ers, too.
Well, we're going to remind you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, our dash of spring weather is definitely over.
That's right. And coming up next, Bill Evans has the details of our drastically changing weather.
Wake up. Call 540-WAKE. Get out of bed and get ahead. Use your touch-tone phone. Call 540-WAKE. We're the wake-up that works. So why worry? Don't ever be late again. Call 540-WAKE. Do it now. Only $2 per call. Depend on us. Call 540-WAKE and wake up right. Wake up bright. Wake up to us tomorrow. Call 540-WAIT.
So you're having a baby, and money's tight.
No sweat. At Coronet, you can save money and put it in the baby's college fund.
We have 2 giant warehouses loaded with stock at our famous low prices.
With cribs, strollers, high chairs, playpens, and toys.
But no talking orangutans.
At Coronet, we don't play games, we sell them.
Meet the 4th generation. Hey, Josh, what do you think of the competition?
Coronet, 1111 Old Country Road in Westbury, Long Island.
When I look into those eyes, I wonder what the world will be like when Ben is my age. You see, I'm concerned about my baby's health, but I'm also concerned about the environment. That's why it's not easy choosing a diaper today. So I looked into it. And I chose Pampers, because dry skin is important to healthy skin.
Compare cloth diapers to Pampers. Pampers' super absorbent core stays drier next to his skin.
My baby deserves a drier diaper, and all our children deserve a cleaner world.
Since 1986, Pampers has reduced the bulk of its diapers by almost 40% and packaging materials by 80%. And they're working with several communities on lasting solutions to help keep diapers and other household trash out of landfills. Call for more information.
When you fight greasy pots and pans, you can take the gloves off. With Ivory Clear, Ivory attacks the grease, not the natural oils in your skin. Fight grease with your bare hands with Ivory Clear.
Got a little dose of spring today, got a little tease, gone.
Thank you. Well, that's it in a nutshell for sure, because it was so nice today. Now it's going to be so rotten tomorrow. Well, here's what's going on tonight. We have skies that are still cloudy, but the temperature is really falling now. It's dropped off 5 degrees in the last hour. 45 degrees. Humidity is dropping fast, too, at 73%, but the barometer has been rising rapidly. It's at 29.8, should get above 30.1 in just about an hour, because high pressure is moving in behind a cold front that has now swept through, so the winds have shifted to the west at 18. Gusting up to 29. We didn't set a record high today, but that is 17 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Now, overnight, the temperature is going to keep falling to 32 by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The outlying areas will be well below freezing. It will be very windy, so wind chills will be in the teens in the morning, could be in the single digits as you get ready to make your way to work and to school. Look at the peak wind gusts tonight since the cold front has moved through. 46 miles per hour at Central Park, 28 out at Long Beach and Islip, 42. Right around Point Pleasant. The rainfall, however, has been light in most spots. Just 400ths of an inch in the city. Ossining had 1,500ths, 400ths of an inch around Carteret, and 300ths of an inch around Atlantic City. So not a whole lot. Look at the radar quickly. You can see where the cold front is. It has now moved on through and continues moving out into New England. Here's the rain with the front, and you can see it just keeps moving eastward. A little rain around the Twin Forks and Montauk, and some light flurries around Binghamton now to the capital cities area. So if you're traveling northward, you might find some flurries tonight in that cold air, particularly across eastern Pennsylvania as well. Well, the forecast map for tomorrow going to be a gorgeous day, except for the fact that it will be rather cold. The woeful wind will continue to come right out of the north and the northwest tomorrow, making it very cold. 38 will be the high. However, we'll have some gusty winds of about 40 miles per hour in the morning, and the winds will taper off tomorrow night, and it'll be a really cold night tomorrow night. Traveling tomorrow, sunshine over much of the country, just some probably just a few lake effect snows will be across the northeast, but that's going to be about it. Sunshine, windy, and cold in the morning. So I mean, bundle up with a capital cold. Sunny, windy, and cold tomorrow with a high of 38, and a 5-day outlook for AccuWeather. Well, things warm up by Wednesday and Thursday up to 46. So 43 on Friday is what we expect to see.
Just balmy.
Yeah.
Get a coat, get gloves, get a scarf. Make it a good day. Hey, see you tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
All right.
And that's the news for now. For Sarah Wallace, Mark Stevens, Bill Evans, and the rest of the Eyewitness News team, I'm Harry Martin. Have a good night.
Good night.
The preceding edition of Eyewitness News was recorded for rebroadcast at this time.
I was going through some brokerage confirmations, and bang, it hit me.
This has got to stop.
These trades were my idea. I made the decisions,
sorry.
and yet I still paid all this commission.
Active investors can come to Fidelity Investments, America's largest mutual fund company, for discount brokerage and save up to 76% on stock commissions. Call for everything you need to start, plus this free excerpt from the bestseller One Up on Wall Street. Call 1-800...
Always on the run, but for the wrong reasons? You just can't seem to wake up on time. Well, there's a solution to your dilemma, and it's called 540 Time, New York's best wake-up service. Dial 540-8463 now and receive your own hotel-style wake-up call. For only $1.75 plus possible toll, you'll have the advantage of a reliable computerized wake-up service at your fingertips. Anytime, all the time. Be on time with 540-TIME.
After 25 games, my daughter can give her soccer shirt a real workout. And her uniform could have faded beyond recognition after all those washings. But it hasn't, because I'm using Tide. Tide has Color Guard, so it tackles most tough stains and helps prevent the colors from fading. So she doesn't grow too much. This uniform might even last another season.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Searching for love in the 1